You don't need to turn the entire bed into a microclimate, right? You don't need to hoop house the entire bed. You can just hoop house the area where you're growing your seedlings. This is a great thing to use if you want to get things started a couple weeks early or even a month early, or even if you're planting things on time, it will accelerate the germination process. Hey, it's Greg here with MaritimeGardening.com, and had a viewer question recently about hoop houses, and I can't remember exactly the wording, but it was something along the lines of, hey, you know, I'm in my 70s and I love hoop houses, but you know, they can be a little heavy. Is there a lighter way, you know, in terms of do your own, make your own? Is there a design that you've got in mind that is lighter, doesn't weigh as much, that sort of thing? And yeah, I thought I'd show you a few things I use here, because you know, I've got the larger hoop houses. I can move them around. They probably weigh, let's say 30 pounds, 35 pounds. I don't know exactly what they weigh, but they're a little bit awkward. And certainly if I've got a really bad back or something like that, I could see that being a problem. So I do have some lighter options, also cheaper. So let's have a look around. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So here's the classic sort of hoop house that I'd actually just done a video, and the viewer commented on this, right? So I've got, this is made with, I don't know, 2x3s, that sort of thing. 2x3 construction with wire remesh for a dome. And I got some, you can see, if those that watch that video, I got some kale growing there. Overseeded, so they have to be thinned. Got some spinach over here. Supposed to have some lettuce over there, but I don't see any of it coming up. Just weeds. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe I'll have to replant. Maybe that variety of lettuce just does not like the cold. Don't know. Or needs more time. It's been cold here. It's been around close to freezing or freezing every night. And only in the low teens during the day. I'm talking Celsius here. Anyway, this thing is kind of, I mean, I don't find it that bad, but I'm still a spry, young 52 years old. But I know if I'm not at my best, I don't like lugging this thing around. So let me show you some lighter options. So one of the simplest things is something like this. So this is 2 feet by 3 feet. And it's small, it doesn't weigh a lot. It's just a square. And then I've got some, this is just PEX pipe. But I got some pipe sort of bent a little bit to make a dome, electrical tape together, right? These corners, this is stuff you buy for framing up roof trusses at the hardware store. You can get them in different size pieces. Actually, these were longer strips that I cut into pieces just by bending them. Anyway, it's got like, it's like a bunch of tiny little nails attached to a strip. And it's great for just banging together things like this. And I use them in some of the other things around here too, so I'm going to show you that in a minute. But that's all I did. I pounded the corners together using those things. And then I bent this PEX pipe. You can use anything. You can get these little bamboo sticks from the dollar store or whatever, right? And just staple some plastic on top, right? And you could have the plastic flat, but when it's domed, it sheds water. This time of year, if it's not domed like this, the water freezes at night, turns to ice. At least where I live anyway, you're still getting freezing cold nights. So dome's better. Also, you get a little bit of air turbulence in there. I think you just get better airflow. So this is good for, you can't grow the plants that much under this, but it'll get things germinated, right? This time of year, it's getting down near zero, down near freezing every night. And some days it's overcast, it's not that warm. So, you know, if you're trying to get your seeds germinated, this can really help that move along. Now this one here, you can see it's like a pup tent type design. This is something I came up with a couple years ago. This is for like a single row, like if you're planting beans or peas, and you eventually want that to be trellised. But you're planting them early in the year, especially beans where one cold night can kill them, right? They'll just die and rot. And this can prevent that. Let's say you're planting your beans and you're worried about it being a little too cold for beans. Hey, where I live, you really don't want to plant beans till end of May sort of thing. Let's say you wanted to chance it and plant them in the middle of May. Well, you need something like this, okay? The great thing about this, as opposed to like a dome, is the way it's designed, it just, I don't know if you can see that, but it just folds up and becomes flat. right? So it's very easy to pack away, very easy to stack, that sort of thing. So all I've got is, right, 2 square panels, and again I got those little things in the corners. I don't know what they're called. Maybe I'll look it up, put it up on the screen. They're for making roof trusses and other sorts of framing things. I'm using all the wrong terms here. You can get them at a hardware store. They're plates, right? This one might have been like almost like a 6-inch plate that I cut into these smaller pieces so I could save money. That's basically it. Anyway, you get 2 rectangles like that. You put the plastic on. Then for the ends, you just cut a triangle, 2 identical triangles, and staple those on. And that allows it to close and open like that. Right? Very, very simple, very cheap. And at the top, all I got is a piece of old rubber. I think it's the inner tube maybe. Right? You can get those at a bike shop. Just stapled in. That makes a hinge. I mean, you can use a nice fancy hinge. You can make these really fancy, but you know, they're gonna fall apart over time anyway, right? So I just use rubber, right? Makes a perfectly fine hinge for something like this. Right, so these are really light and really versatile. Some good height. So if you're going to grow something like tomatoes or peppers, right, you could have them under it for quite some time before they get too large, right? So you can really get that heat going. And I mean, it's not airtight, right? There's all kinds of gaps and holes that you can see, right? There's a natural gap at the top. I don't know if you can see that at the very peak. And the whole seam along the top is not airtight. So it vents, right? One of the problems with something like this is that you've got your seedlings coming along, and let's say they're about 2 inches high, and you're a really, really hot sunny day. There's some ventilation here because, you know, it's not airtight, okay? But on just the right day, under just the right conditions, especially if it's newer, this is older, so it's more breezy, you could cook the seedlings and kill them in one afternoon. Right? I mean, there's an easy fix. If you're leaving for work in the morning and you're worried that it's going to get too hot, just prop it up, stick a rock or something underneath it like that to create a gap. That's all you got to do, okay? But that's another design. Another thing I like to use is these just plastic rectangles, okay? So this is just a solitary rectangle, okay? The corners are attached again using those things. I mean, there's other ways to do this. You could get plywood or, you know, something to, or you can get really fancy and do dovetail joints or whatever. I haven't got time for that. So I just use, these are relatively cheap at the hardware store, whatever they're called. Does it say there? Something plate, mending plate. Yeah, mending plate. Something, mending plate, not for trusses, for something else, I guess. Anyway, if you ever look at a factory-made truss, they have something like this on them. And it's called a mending plate. That's what you ask the guy at the hardware store for. Anyway, the great thing about these, you can put them flat on the ground just to get the soil warm enough for germination. But you can't have them on too long because there's no space for the plant to grow and there's no airflow, so they'll cook. This is a trellis here. You can see 10 foot long. I got peas planted. They haven't germinated yet. So I've just leaned them against the trellis like that. Okay, but they will blow down. That's actually what I came out here to do this evening. I have at the top, in the corners, little eyelets, just dollar store eyelets. You see them screwed in there. Okay, so I just tie the eyelets together. That keeps these from blowing down. Okay, and I'm sure I've got a video on it somewhere. I'll put a link to it. But another thing you can do with these plastic rectangles is if you've got a bed, you can erect them as a wall, a vertical wall around the bed, and attach them together just using those little eyelets with string. And what you can do is have a wall around the bed, which reduces airflow. So that bed's actually a little bit warmer. Actually, it's just not as much breeze. There's still airflow, but you've reduced the amount of breeziness. So it's a good thing if you're trying to grow peppers or something heat-loving like that, because it just makes the bed a little warmer. There's no roof on it, right? But let's say it's July, where I live, July can still get cool. So you're planting out your peppers, and maybe for a month you have that around them. The winds aren't as strong, and when it's a warm sunny day, it's just a few degrees warmer where those peppers are. Anything that really, pepper, eggplant, that sort of thing, really likes the heat. So you can use them flat on the ground. You can tie them, make a little peak, and make a little sort of triangle tent like that, like I got here. Or you can arrange them as a wall. Right? Very, very versatile thing to have in the garden. Here's another sort of like mini cold frame, I guess. So this is, I think it's 2x6 or 2x8. And it's a 2 foot by, I don't know, 2.5 foot squares, no matter what size it is. So it's fairly heavy for its size, so it's not going to blow away. On the inside, I've attached a little bit of PEX pipe to create a dome. Just one piece. Okay, I don't know if I nailed it in or screwed it in. I just nailed it in with a shingle nail. And I even painted one of the sides on the inside black to attract heat. Okay, you can see I'm in the driveway here, and I use this to get these, I don't know what these are, I think they're broccolini maybe, to get them going as a little transplanting setup, free from slugs and snails and other things. And it's a nice warm place. I'm in the driveway here, so I get the asphalt going, and it's a sunny spot. And every year when I try to grow these things in the garden, they get just decimated by pests. So I thought I'd start them up this way and do a little experiment. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is just to show you this little thing here. Now I've got holes drilled in the front and the back. That's just for venting, right? And I mean, this time of year I wouldn't be trying to grow tomatoes or anything like that out here. This thing is going to get too cold at night. But all I'm trying to do for some of my cold hardy greens is during the day they got a little bit warmer, a little bit nicer place to grow than just in the ground, right? But I've also used this just right in one of the garden beds in a little controlled area. Plant something that can be moved, like a Swiss chard or something like that, or kale. So you get them started. Instead of using transplant trays, you just have them in the soil, get them started, and then when you're thinning them, you move them into, you'd have something like this in a 4x8 garden bed. You have your seedlings in here just in the ground, and then once they're 4 or 5 inches high, you get rid of this thing and you thin them out and you distribute them throughout the 4x8 garden, right? So it's a way of having, you don't need to turn the entire bed into a microclimate, right? You don't need to hoop house the entire bed. You can just hoop house the area where you're growing your seedlings, and it can be smaller, right? So this is a very useful way to do that, right? And this doesn't weigh much, it weighs way less than a hoop house, but it's also, because I've used the heavier construction, it's very windproof, okay? But this is a great thing to use if you want to get things started a couple weeks early or even a month early, or even if you're planting things on time, it will accelerate the germination process. You know, every seed has a minimum germination temperature, but many seeds also have an optimum germination temperature. So some plant might germinate at 10 degrees Celsius, but it might take 3 weeks to germinate at that temperature, whereas if it's closer to 20 degrees Celsius, it'll germinate in 4 days. Right, so these little microclimates allow all that to happen a little quicker. And when they're small like this, they just don't weigh as much, easier to move around, easier to store, all that sort of thing. So if you've got infinite space and a strong back, or lots of help, these things are great. But if space or weight or the cost of materials, I think prices are probably going up in the short term anyway, then something like this, very foldable. I love this. I could see me at some point in my life and maybe we scale down or whatever. This sort of thing might be all I use because it's just so elegant. Oh, I should also speak, I'm summarizing here, but I should speak to the preference for plastic over, you know, Lexan, plexiglass, or even glass. You can use whatever you like. I use this 6 mil poly because it's cheap, and it's lightweight, and it doesn't break. I've tried my luck with glass in the garden, like getting it, you know, someone throws away a bunch of windows and they're trash, and you bring them home and you convert them into garden boxes. I've broken every glass garden box I've ever had. Now, some of that is just me being good at breaking things. I admit that. But it's a windy place here. Wind and glass. You got to be very diligent when you've got glass lids in a garden. If you're a diligent person who always latches things and ties things down and always knows when it's going to be windy and is always paying attention, you'll probably be fine. If you're kind of a devil-may-care, lazy guy, you're going to break a lot of glass. So I would go with the plastic, right? And it'll last, I don't know, like this is probably last 3, 4, 5 years, and then it starts falling apart. Depends on how much you leave it outdoors. Like if you have this out in the sun for just like 1 month a year, it might last years. But when you're done using it, you can't use this all season because it gets too hot. If when you're done using it, you just leave it out for the rest of the season, well, all the UV and everything, the plastic's going to break down. It's going to fall apart real quick. So use it, then get it out of the sun, you know, get it in a protected space. It'll last a long time. Anyway, whether you want something big like this, you got lots of space, or something very foldable and compact like this, lightweight, something like this, so it's sort of simple and rugged and so on, or something extremely composite and versatile, and also cheap like this, right? There's lots of different ways to affect microclimates in your garden without spending a lot of money and without having them weigh too much. There's also all kinds of crap you can buy at the dollar store or on the internet or Amazon or whatever. But I find a lot of the things they sell, they're just so lightweight, they blow all over the place. You know, we get a lot of wind here, right? So even these big things, you know, if we have any sort of wind, I can find these anywhere in the garden. I can come out in the morning and they can be anywhere, including outside the garden. They can just pick up in the air and fly away like a kite, right? So those have to be lashed down unless they're really heavy or unless conditions are just right. But if you get the air underneath them, they can, one good windstorm and tear them all apart. All right, so the sun's setting. I guess it's time to wrap this up. Just a quick short video on different kinds of lightweight, cheap microclimates. I hope you found this video interesting. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. Check out my podcast, maritimegardening.com. Check out my articles on Substack at maritimegardening.substack.com. Think about maybe becoming a subscriber to that. Check out my sponsor, VestCCs. Use my coupon code GAVS25. And until next time, get out there, get at it, have fun in your garden. Thanks for watching.